The dovetail joint, part 1, marking out the tails. This is an example of the dovetail joint we will mark out in this demonstration. The tools we will need to mark out this joint are a sharp HB pencil, a steel ruler, a sliding bevel, a tri-square and a marking gauge. Anatomy of the dovetail joint. The tails. The pins. These are the working drawings of the box dovetail joint which you will be provided with. So, to begin, we will label our pieces Piece A and Piece B. Piece A will contain the tails and Piece B will contain the pins. We will also indicate face side and face edge. These are the datum surfaces which show the mating surfaces of joints and serve as a reference face for fences of machines and hand tools. Marking out the tails. As we can see from the working drawings, the length of the tails is going to be equal to the thickness of piece B, which is 18 mm. So, we need to measure 18 mm in from the end of piece A. I will use the thickness of piece B to measure this distance. We must ensure the end of piece A and the side of piece B are flush, and then place a dot. We then use our tri-square to square this measurement around our piece. We must always remember to keep the stock of our tri-square pressed firmly against either the face side or face edge of our piece. What we want here is accuracy. On the working drawings, we are given the size of the tails on the shoulder line, which is their narrowest point. These measurements are 10, 28, 14 and 28 mm. We mark these measurements of 10, 28, 14 and 28 mm off on the shoulder line, placing a dot at each measurement. We now need to mark the slope of the tails. As we can see from our working drawings, the slope is 1:6. We do this using a sliding bevel. I will now demonstrate how to set the sliding bevel to a slope of 1:6. Firstly, we square a line from the edge of a piece of waste timber. Our slope is 1:6, so for every 1 unit we step out, we must step up 6 units. In this case, I will step out 10 mm and up 60 mm. Join these points using a steel ruler. This line is now at a slope of 1:6. This is a sliding bevel. To set the sliding bevel to this slope, we need to Press the stock of the sliding bevel firmly against the edge of the piece. Loosen the nut on the sliding bevel, which allows the angle of the blade to be altered. Align the blade with the line at slope 1:6. Tighten the nut so that the angle of the blade cannot be altered accidentally. The sliding bevel is now set to a slope of 1:6. Place the piece vertically in the vise. Taking our sliding bevel, which is set to a slope of 1:6, we place the stock against the end grain and transfer our measurements on the shoulder line up to the end grain. Where these lines hit the end grain, square these points across the end grain. Turn the piece A around in the vise. These lines on the end grain now need to be transferred to the shoulder line at a slope of 1:6. Ensure the stock of the sliding bevel is pressed firmly against the end grain. Indicate the waste carefully. The timber we want to keep are the two tails, so mark the rest as waste with X's. The tails of our dovetail are now marked out.